I have a big heart. A brand new Rolex. It was for all the people in the back of the pool. Oh, wow. Throw this on the wall and then it comes back to me. Oh. And then throw it. Come on. This is not I'm gonna act like something.
Left along the streaming your game. Square in the middle of the controller is the touchpad. Similar to what you'll find on the back of the Vita, this is used in games to pull up a quick option, but some titles like Tearaway Unfolded do a much better job of taking advantage of the touch sensitivity. There's also a speaker in the controller to listen to in-game audio logs or things like a radio. Speaking of audio, every PS4 controller has a built-in 3.5mm headphone jack to be able to game quietly with headphones. There is a port you can use with a PlayStation headset, but having the option of using your own headphones is a big plus. The Xbox One has needed a proprietary headset for a while, however they've recently released an updated controller that includes a headphone jack. The bigger news though is the Elite controller. This brings replaceable thumbsticks, which can easily be swapped, an interchangeable D-pad with a cool faceted design, and 4 programmable paddles for easier access to things like your face buttons. It also has a hair trigger bump stop for shorter actuation, and a dedicated switch to boot between settings. It's a legitimately cool controller, but with a hefty $150 price tag, it's not all that practical. All 3 versions of the Xbox One controller come with totally bad news. Downright useful. The Xbox One controller takes one of the best gamepads of all time and improves it. PlayStation 4 just barely takes this one. Of course, there's more than just controllers, so stay tuned. This comparison is far from over.
Why'd you go on my phone? Why'd you go on my phone? I didn't know.
On both the PS4 and Xbox One. With both consoles using custom AMD APUs, this is one area where they're incredibly similar. Each uses an 8-core processor, the PS4 being clocked.
You're lying. Why'd you throw my phone? I didn't. Make me from one. Don't eat them.
1.6 gigahertz, where the Xbox has a slight advantage of 1.75 gigahertz.
Then
They're both based on AMD's Jaguar architecture, which is fairly low power.
Tell the truth. Tell the truth and nothing bad will happen. I didn't do it.
On top. Interestingly, the Athlon 5150 processor is
How
almost
is it
identical
true?
to what's
I
being used on the
didn't on your phone. Yes, you did. I did not even come over here. It's a, yes, you did. No, look. I was coming in here. Then how else would my phone be on the floor? I didn't put it here like that. I didn't do that. It was on that table right there. I did not do it. I didn't even get close to that table.
Just with 4 cores instead of 8. While you should take these estimates with a grain of salt, it gives us a good baseline to compare. It's clear that while you might have a lot of cores, neither console can come close to even a modest gaming PC on the processor side. What makes more complicated is that while they have 8 cores, they can't actually use all of them for gaming. The PS4 reserves
All I
2
was
cores for
was
the
trying to
operating
do
system,
this.
and while there's a huge advantage of being able to multitask,
You did it. I know you did, but you're just lying. I
the
did
Xbox has
it.
a similar setup. Developers have
Oh,
access to
you
a
just
system
admitted it.
as
You
long
did
as the
it.
game doesn't need to
That's
use
good.
Kinect or has other convenience. It's not a massive difference. This is paired with the clock speed advantage because the Xbox
I said I
One is
didn't.
slight edgier.
Yes,
Thanks to
you
the
did.
identical on the CPU front, it
Tu
has
किया ना? तू
a
40 किया? तू 40 में?
AMD Radeon graphics.
नहीं
The PS4 has a
तेरे 40 में तू 40 किया? Smash
It's
begins. 5,
1152
4,
stream
3,
processors
2,
compared to
1.
768 on the Xbox One. As we're talking about the
उसके
same
पैंट
PC
में
and
40
hardware, this
किया.
basically is an apples-to-apples
40
comparison.
किया.
The PS4 has a 50%
40,
advantage.
48.
Microsoft does have a slight lead when it comes to clock speed, but the end result is still a win for the PS4.
Ow, it's okay. I'm so what? Look, so I'm so what? PS4 has 800 megahertz. Xbox One has 853 megahertz. PS4 has 1.84 teraflops. Xbox One has 1.31 teraflops. Yes. No. Xbox One is more megahertz. It has more clock speed.
Is an apples-to-apples comparison. The PS4 has a 50% advantage here. Microsoft does have a slight lead when it comes to clock speed, but the end result is still a win for the PS4 with a total of 1.8 teraflops of performance over 1.3 on the Xbox. Another big difference between the consoles is memory. We're looking at 8 GB across the board, which is a massive advantage over the last generation. Not all of this is available. Only 5 gigs are there for games to take advantage of. The bigger difference is the type of memory. While the Xbox One uses standard DDR3, the PS4 uses DDR5. Typically, DDR3 is used for CPUs. It doesn't have enormous bandwidth, but it's good for quickly delivering smaller amounts of data. GDDR5 is the opposite. It has lots of bandwidth, but it can't be accessed as quickly, which makes it ideal for a graphics card. Purely looking at performance, the PS4 has a big advantage with 176 megabytes per second compared to just 68 on the Xbox, but Microsoft does have a trick up their sleeve. ESRAM. This is a small 32 megabyte chunk with super fast memory dedicated to the GPU, which can make up a lot of the difference. However, it requires the developers to properly take advantage of it. On the other hand, the PS4 can take the brute force approach with lots of fast memory that just works, giving it the clear victory here. So what does all this mean for actual games? With very similar hardware, you shouldn't expect a massive difference in graphics. Both consoles support 1080p, but many games give up a bit of resolution, like Star Wars Battlefront, which runs at 900p on the PS4, and even lowers 720p on the Xbox One. Most games like Grand Theft Auto 5 are capable of the full 1080p output, but here you're trading resolution for performance, as both consoles top out at 30 FPS. The PlayStation and Xbox are capable of 1080p at 60 frames though. Less graphically intense titles like Rocket League, along with remasters like the Nathan Drake Collection, run no problem on the PS4. Forza 6 is a great example of a game that's able to keep a consistent 60 FPS even at 1080p on the Xbox, but this is the exception rather than the rule. Most of the time, to keep up the high refresh rate, you sacrifice resolution, like in Titanfall, which only runs at 792p. While on paper both consoles are similar, they each have their advantages. The Xbox One has a slightly faster CPU, but the larger GPU and faster memory means the PS4 almost always gives you a better gaming experience, giving it the win this time around. Of course, the slight performance advantage doesn't tell the whole story. Check out the last couple episodes if you missed them. Consoles have evolved to become the hub of the living room, so how do the PS4 and Xbox One stack up in the software department? Even though both consoles are close in most areas, they take two totally different approaches for the interface. The PS4 is focused on gaming with media as a secondary feature, where the Xbox One puts a much bigger emphasis on entertainment. Both are outfitted with a Blu-ray drive that supports DVDs, but the PS4 oddly doesn't work with audio CDs. The Xbox also has an advantage by supporting the vast majority of video formats over USB, and you can also run your cable box through the one to control everything through a single device. You'll find all the standard streaming apps on both, like YouTube, Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime Video, and Twitch, and quality-wise, we're looking at 1080p across the board. They also have some exclusives. Skype is only available on the Xbox, and Spotify is on the PS4, which is a pretty killer feature for me. It would be nice to have 4K considering some $100 streaming devices can handle it, but it is technically possible for 4K support to be added at some point. Unlike the last generation, both consoles can multitask. The PS4 will keep apps running in the background and bring it right back up when you open, but it's quick to kill things when it needs the memory. The Xbox handles things more elegantly. You can hit the Xbox button to minimize the app or game while it's still running, and you can even run two apps side by side. I find myself using Snap all the time to watch a video or live stream in the background, which is especially nice on a large TV. Something optional for both consoles are Kinect and the PlayStation camera. They both serve basically the same purpose by supporting a few camera-enabled games and giving you voice commands. The PlayStation camera will do a few basic things, and although I feel it's not as accurate as Kinect, the camera does a good job of tracking to let you play some pretty cool games. The Kinect includes Bing, which works well as a more universal search, and it's also got more commands, such as being able to turn on and off both the Xbox and TV with your voice. The problem is that both of these are fairly expensive add-ons that don't seem to have much of a future, especially in the Kinect's case. Get into gaming, and both have plenty of cool tricks. The Xbox One just added backwards compatibility for 360 titles, and it works really well. You can use
Backwards compatibility.
or downloaded games, which work inside an emulator. It's basically indistinguishable from playing on the original hardware, and it even works like a normal Xbox One app for things like multitasking. On the PS4 side, Digital Foundry discovered Sony snuck in the PS2 emulator, but as of today, it only works for a handful of Star Wars games from a limited edition bundle. The bigger push is PlayStation Now, which is a way of playing PS3 titles via streaming. If you've got a solid internet connection, it's a cool way of playing a lot of games that will probably never come to the PS4, but you can't play your own games, and it's about $15 a month, which makes the Xbox solution hard to argue with. The PS4 does, however, have remote play on a few devices like the PS Vita. You need a solid connection between the pair, and it works really nicely. You essentially get a mirror display on the Vita, and some games have specific support for the controls. The Xbox has streaming to Windows 10 devices, which is basically the same thing. You connect the controller to the PC, and you're able to stream Xbox games right over to the computer. One thing to consider is that both consoles require a subscription to play online. PSN is $50 a year, where Xbox Live comes in at
$50 a year.
$60. However, it's often available for quite a bit less than that. Both give you access to free games and discounts each month, and the selection is pretty comparable recently. But regardless, you'll have to shell out for a subscription to get the most out of these consoles. While the series so far has been close, this one's pretty straightforward. The PS4 has a nice interface, quite a few cool tricks, and enough apps to cover the basics, but the Xbox One has more features, a better designed UI, camera and backwards compatibility, giving it the clear win this time around. With 4 episodes down, the Xbox and PS4 are tied, so stay tuned. This isn't over just yet.
Virgin Mobile's Inner Circle wireless plan is so good, we invited other Inner Circles to join. So how about a year of wireless service for only $1?
Would you love to talk?
Yeah, PS4 versus Xbox One versus Wii U, Episode 5. PS4 versus Xbox One, Episode 6.
Get a year of wireless service for only $1 plus perks on Virgin.
With 4 episodes down, I think it's about time to add a new challenger. How does the Wii U stack up with the PS4 and Xbox One? Nintendo took a totally different approach than Sony and Microsoft this generation. Not only is it almost comically smaller than the Xbox, but you might notice the controller is just a little different. The Wii U uses the gamepad, which is a hybrid controller and tablet. It's a clever piece of tech that gives you a lot of extra features, on top of being able to stream gameplay from the console. It works well, there's next to no latency, and it frees you up to play a lot of games on the gamepad without needing to use a TV. It's also where you can use Amiibo. They're not really needed for most games, but they look cool and can unlock new characters or levels. The controls are fine, but it's a massive controller. It can be a bit uncomfortable to use for longer periods, and you'll need to charge it far more often than the others. One of the bigger problems with the gamepad is the price. It's included with the Wii U, but because it's necessary, that means the Wii U costs basically as much as the PS4 and Xbox One. On paper, it just can't measure up. The Wii U has a far less powerful CPU, graphics, and only a quarter as much RAM.
Holy crap! Wii U was bad. Holy crap, it's bad. How? Xbox One is 8-core CPU, PS4 is 8-core CPU too. Wii U is bad. Xbox One has 1.31 teraflops, PS4 has 1.84 teraflops, Xbox One has 8
8GB DDR3 RAM.
30.
And also PS4 has 8GB GDDR5 RAM. And Wii U has 3-core CPU. 3-core versus 8-core CPU. And it has 0.35 teraflops and 2GB DDR3 RAM. That is so bad. Why are you telling me? I don't really care. I don't know, just saying that the Wii is bad.
Making it closer to a last-gen console in the spec department. It also only comes with 32 gigabytes of storage, meaning you'll probably have to take advantage of an external hard drive. One area where it does have a big advantage is with power usage. The lower-end specs help it to need far less power, especially while gaming. And that's really where it shines. Titles like Smash look far better than you would expect based on the specs, and games like Xenoblade do an impressive job of pushing their hardware to the limit with totally respectable graphics. Nintendo's art style, like in Splatoon, also goes a long way toward evening the gap. The first-party games are absolutely the strongest part of the Wii U. Nintendo has assembled a huge library of killer games like Mario Kart. You'll also find a few third-party titles such as Watch Dogs, which are solid, but few and far between. Especially when you compare to what the games look like on the PS4, Wii U really can't hold up. There are some games that are shared, but things like Minecraft came out years later and is bizarrely $10 more than the others. Other AAA titles just aren't here. If you get a Wii U, you've got to be serious about Nintendo games. There is a solid selection of virtual console titles though, with everything from NES to Wii. The games can be on the slightly expensive side, but the emulation is solid, and it's nice to be able to not only play games on the TV, but also on the gamepad. You also essentially have a full Wii built in. Hook up a Wiimote, and you can get into the old school Wii menu and play your discs with a clean HDMI output. The Xbox is just starting to add backwards compatibility, and the PS4 uses the less than stellar PS Now, so if you have a big Wii game library, the Wii U has you covered. On the other hand, the interface is usable but feels a full step behind the others. It's a bit less serious, but things like multitasking and just moving around is noticeably slower than the others. Put it beside the PS4 and things are much more grown up with a more mature online store with a far better selection. The same goes for the new Xbox One interface. It's a lot better for multitasking, and it also does much better with media. You'll find the basic apps on the Wii U like Netflix, YouTube, and Hulu, but not things like Twitch and Spotify, which is a bit of a shame. It doesn't support DVDs or Blu-rays either. If you're serious about media, the Wii U just isn't your console. Games are the biggest strength, but also the biggest weakness of the Wii U. On one hand, you've got killer titles like Mario Maker and Smash, but on the other, you have next to no third-party support for big games. The Wii U makes way more sense as a second console alongside a PlayStation, Xbox, or even PC, but with its replacement looming on the horizon, now might not be the greatest time to invest in the Wii.
Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft.
Oh. I would give Microsoft a big poop.
I would give Sony a big crap. Or I would give Sony a big shit.
I give the Kapil Sharma show a thumbs up. So why did you say a bad word?
I said shit. I didn't say it.
Yes, you did.
Shiz.
Oh my gosh, Devon, you said the bad word.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did. Is it okay if you say it in your mind?
Fine. But stay tuned. There's one last episode to determine the winner.
Next episode.
Ask Brian, it's not a
The
bad
winner.
word.
Let's see who's the winner.
Ask Brian, shit
This
is
is
not
the
a bad
winner.
word.
The winner. The
I'm
Xbox.
telling your mom that you said it. Okay, tell
I
Mom.
didn't say it.
Yeah.
What?
He said S-H-I-T.
Ayan, I'm giving you this last chance. And I'm really sorry I said it, because I meant to say it halfway, or I meant to say shiz, but just don't say it, please.
My mom. You were the one that said it. Hey, be fine. My mom said it's not a bad word, so.
No, you didn't.
After 5 episodes, the PS4 and Xbox One are tied, so it's time to settle things by
You guys
looking at
don't
the
say it,
games. The Xbox One had a
But I
solid
won't let you
2015 with some seriously awesome exclusive titles.
So you guys
Halo 5 Guardians.
You can't just make
Yeah.
him do whatever you want.
Because he
him to
can't
do.
play on his mom's phone all the time.
Biggest,
Yeah,
and while
but-
Halo isn't as big as it once was, this is a solid installment. The campaign is a bit of
Oh, it was Halo 5 Guardians. Xbox One. Yeah. Xbox One has Halo 5 Guardians versus Uncharted. Exclusive.
spot though. The story just doesn't do it, but it feels familiar, and Halo on the Xbox One has never looked better. There's also Forza Motorsport 6, which is one of the best racing games out there. It builds on Forza 5 with a massive library of cars and serious customization to really fine-tune your vehicles. Graphically, it's on point with a full 1080p resolution and a nearly flawless 60 frames output. Paired with the meticulously detailed cars, it's an impressive title. Another big Xbox One title is Rise of the Tomb Raider. It's a semi-exclusive with a PC version just being released and a PS4 edition coming at some point later this year. It has a very Uncharted feel, which isn't a bad thing at all. There's a lot of epic action sequences, and while it doesn't have the greatest mechanics, it's a fun game that looks impressive. The PlayStation 4 also had a few big titles last year. Until Dawn was a surprising hit. It's almost more of an interactive movie than a traditional game, but as a big fan of Telltale-style games, I'm not complaining. The story looks just like a normal book with a few big titles last year. Until Dawn was a surprising hit.
Telltale Games, look.
It's almost more of an interactive movie than a traditional game, but as a big fan of Telltale-style games, I'm not complaining. The story looks just like a
Telltale style games.
horror movie, but the outcome is entirely up to you. All of the characters can live or die based on how you play. As a PS4 exclusive, it might not be a system seller, but it's definitely worth a look. Bloodborne, on the other hand, is very much an old-school hardcore game. It's not forgiving in the slightest. Once you die, you're going right back to the last checkpoint to make your way back to the enemy who killed you.